Hey there, welcome to Find Your Sun. I'm Cass.
And I'm Mare.
Join us as we find our sun through movement, nourishment, and well-being.
Awakened through the power of play. Let's dive in.
Hello, sun seekers. Welcome back to Find Your Sun. I'm Cass, and as always, I'm here with the amazing Mare.
Hey everyone, so happy to be back with you today as we dive into part 2 of our gratitude series.
And if you thought gratitude was just a feel-good idea or something to practice when things are going great, well, you're not alone. When Mare first mentioned that we'd be doing a podcast series on gratitude, I thought, I can definitely talk about that. I've done that before. I've practiced gratitude before. I thought I knew what it was all about, but wow. I had no idea how much there was to unpack about gratitude. Like, it is a whole thing.
You might think that you know, but you have no idea. Gratitude is so much more than just a word or a quick strategy to feel good. It is something that goes much deeper. There is scientific research, entire books, podcasts solely dedicated just to the topic of gratitude. It is powerful. And today we are going to take a step back and explore some of the barriers and myths that make practicing gratitude challenging.
So let's start by acknowledging something we've all probably experienced. Why is it so hard to stay in that grateful mindset, even when we know how good it can be for us? You know?
Yeah, I think one of the biggest barriers is that we are just naturally wired for negativity, and our brains tend to hold on to negative experiences like glue, while positive ones tend to slip away more easily. And we often hold on to painful memories or failures way more than the good stuff. This negativity bias helped our ancestors survive, but today it can make practicing gratitude feel like an uphill battle.
And we're not trying to fend off bears anymore, you know? And something else is that it's not just a part of our biology. There are also constant societal and cultural influences at play. Every single day, we are bombarded with messages that say, you're not good enough, you don't have enough. The ads are telling us we're not skinny enough. We don't have a nice car. You need to fix your imperfect skin. And when we're inundating ourselves with these messages, it's so easy to get caught up in the habit of wanting and comparing yourself to others.
Yeah, I think that this is a really valuable insight because working in marketing, you understand and the power of branding. You understand
it on a deeper level.
Yeah, how much it affects our psyche and who we are. And, you know, I walk into the Lululemon store and when you walk into our Lululemon store was just updated here in our hometown. And when I walk up to the door, I reach for the door and I see this line of text and it says open to possibility. And when you walk in, there are words all over the store now. And these are words that are going to empower you to be something greater.
Well,
just based off of
off of the words. Well, I think what you're getting at is like there's a feeling to everything. Like whatever you're putting in front of your eyes and what you're hearing, what you're taking in is creating a feeling inside of you.
It does.
That's what branding does.
That. Yeah, it is. That's branding in a nutshell. Like it's a feeling. So our culture is centered around social media where we receive dopamine hits, these little tiny dopamine hits of what our life could be like. And unfortunately, you know, we're not immune to the problematic nature of its design. So just take a moment with us, open your social media app.
If you're not driving.
Yep. If you're not, good point. If you're not driving, go to your search page and observe what the algorithm is sending you. Okay. So I'm going to take my phone right now and I'm going to to open up my Instagram and our social media and our search history is obviously a reflection of who we are, right? So if I look at my search page right now, the very first one that pops up is yoga is 10% on your mat and 90% off your mat. And I'm very, very aware of this. So I am always, right?
I like that.
But I'm so aware of this that I have been training my social media app to send me things that make me feel good. Because if I'm going to spend time on social media, it's going to be with intent. It's going to be with purpose. It's not going to be to just doom scroll. Oh, those who avoid their feelings will likely avoid yours too. Interesting. Okay.
Something that I don't like yours? That I just found, there's 2 pictures of Kim Kardashian. One is like, maybe not an edited photo of her. And then the other one's more like airbrushed. Then it says same person, different injector. It's just like putting Kim Kardashian down in a gross way. It's called Vanity Looks Skin Center. And I think that's gross. Wow. So I'll just report that. I just don't like it. And then when you report something, you can just say, I just don't like it.
I just don't like it.
Yeah. And then you can restrict or block. So maybe I'll just block them because I don't really care to see that.
Yeah.
I want the algorithm. We're saying to you, like, we want you to train your algorithm to put things in front of you that don't make you feel bad about yourself.
And tell me this, Cassie, if you were to hold it up, like, do ours look the same?
Oh,
this will also show you how unique you are. Like
the explore page?
Yeah. Our explore page is completely different.
Oh my God. Yeah. It's so different.
Completely different.
So different.
Right?
Yours looks more aesthetic than mine.
Because what do? I'm constantly feeding my brain like beautiful things. Like
she really is.
Like I'm on Pinterest and I'm just collecting ideas that make me feel really good.
Yeah. So yours is, you've completely curated yours. I need to do better at this because I still get trash on my Instagram, but I haven't been reporting, but this is something that Meredith has taught me. So.
And I want to also highlight that this is also happening with our children. You know, our children, whatever age they might be at, hopefully, I know my son right now, he's getting ready to he's entering the teenage years. And they want Snapchat, they want Instagram, like, and all of their friends are on it. Okay.
Yeah, because otherwise they feel left out.
And so here's the thing though, what I'm trying to train my children is that what they spend their time on is what the algorithm realizes, like, oh, he really likes to watch that. So they send him more of those things. And what I'm trying to teach our children too is that you have the ability to control what you receive for the most, somewhat, not everything, but you can train it. So does your feed align with the practice of gratitude? And if not, you know, as Cassie was just talking about, you can report the post and tell the algorithm why you don't want to see content like this, or why you don't want to see content like this on your feed. And we could try to guard against the lack mentality by celebrating one another even more. This is something, you know, I was working through, I think, because so often we have that lack mentality or that comparison mentality. And what I think is so important is that we begin to use social media to lift each other up instead of just scrolling and showing little appreciation for the time that someone might have spent to share something really important to them in their day, right?
Well, what I've noticed, I created a lot for my Women Welcome page while I was doing pre and postnatal, and I put a lot of time and effort into that. And like, we're putting a lot of time and effort into this. And like, if you are a friend, like, I just understand now how much it does take. And so, yeah, like, I love that you say lift each other up through social media, because I think social media is always picked out as the bad guy.
Yeah.
Because we have to look at ourselves though. Like, social media is a reflection of us.
Absolutely. It is.
So what do you want to be? Like, you need to start feeding yourself whatever reflection of you want. You
Absolutely.
know?
Yeah. And I think that finding ways to support and just take a minute, like, out of your day to show like, I saw that. I see that you're working really hard, and we're doing this all for free right now. Like, this is all just a giving. We want to give ideas to you and hopefully explore new ideas with you and interact with you and make this a community and really special. So, social media is a really powerful tool, and we can use it to uplift one another rather than falling into that downward spiral of comparison, because I'm no better than you.
No, we're all in different
in something on so many things, right?
Yeah, and I was listening to a gratitude podcast yesterday because I'm getting ready for this podcast, and so I use all my resources. And there was a man that talked about how being like at the highest point in his life as perceived from the external, from other people. So that he just got this new job. He has married a beautiful wife, has kids, like all the things that you would think like, wow, he has such a great life. Like if you were to see him on the Instagram and he posted all these things, like, wow. But then he was going through a depression and he almost had a heart attack. Like what you see on the outside and when you are comparing isn't always what you should be comparing to, because you don't see, on social media, you don't see the other side most of the time. Yeah. Some people are willing to be vulnerable, but I understand why not too.
Yeah,
you know? Sure. So yeah, if you get caught in that comparison trap, try this exercise called downward comparison. Compare yourself to your ancestors. Think about how lucky we are to have things like electricity, modern medicine, a sewage system. I know that sounds like weird, but like I remember reading books in junior high about how in Europe way back in the day, like people would just like let it go out onto the street. Like how gross.
Yeah.
Disgusting.
Yeah.
Our lives today would seem miraculous to people 100 years ago.
Yeah. And right now we're having to battle other things like, is our food safe?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I think we're always having to battle something, but
it's totally different.
Yeah, it's totally different. So much smaller.
Yeah, it is. And then, and hopefully with the power of social media, you can actually make a ripple. I saw was it the Food Babe?
Yeah.
That went to Kellogg.
Yeah.
Whoa. What a powerful movement.
I've been following her for
she was
so many years. She was, yeah. You go ahead.
I was so like proud of her.
Me too.
And I mean, it looked like there were so many people there, and she was just chanting. And there was a guy that said he was an executive or a security guard of some sort, something over security. And he comes down and he like talks to her and like basically just fluffs her up and tries to make her think like, well, they are not going to talk to you today. But the power of all those voices together, like it really made an impact.
And if you don't watch Food Babe or follow Food Babe, what she's talking about is there's a Fruit Loops and Applejack cereal has yellow 5, I think it is, and another red artificial ingredient. And so they put those in American cereals, but they don't put it in European cereals. And so she's just advocating like, just take them out of the cereals here too. Why wouldn't you just take them out here? It's because they have a financial advantage by doing that, and they don't care about the American citizens. And that's really sad. And
maybe
we need
it's not
to
that they don't care, it's that they're not willing to change.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Well, if you're not willing to change it and it affects our health, I feel like you don't care. But
yeah, that's you. Okay, we can say they don't care. And there was a sign in one of the windows that she like pointed out that said that one of the workers at Kellogg had placed inside the window, and it said, "Get off my lawn."
Oh yeah, I saw that.
This is nuts. So, the truth is gratitude, is about waking up to the magic that's right in front of us. As Eden Philpott said, the universe is full of magical things patiently waiting for our senses to become sharper. And gratitude sharpens our senses. It helps us to see the world again with that childlike wonder. Things we take for granted every day become wondrous. And that is really what we're founded on, is that idea, not even that idea, the idea of
And
play.
practice.
And practice. Yeah, of play. And how can we incorporate that more into our lives?
Exactly. And something amazing that I found is that when we can totally rewire our brains, and Mare and I have been talking about this a lot in previous episodes, but we think that is important to reiterate that you can indeed change the way that you think. Our brains are actually pretty great at becoming flexible thanks to something called neuroplasticity.
Neurons that fire together wire together. And I love this whole idea, and we talk about it a lot, and we'll probably revisit it because I do feel like this is something that I've been able to incorporate into my life. And I've realized that I've recognized the power of it.
Well, because something that just came up for me is like, we are all brought up differently.
Yeah.
But once you become an adult, you get to choose how you want to act and how you want to think. And sometimes those ways of acting and thinking are mirrors of our parents. But once we become adults and we can decide, oh, this is not actually how I want to how I want to be, which is it's harder as a child to think like that.
Absolutely.
Because you are like you think your parents are God in a way, not God, but like they are
the
most important people in your life.
So we idolize, we demonize, and then we humanize.
Oh wow.
Right? I can't believe I pulled that back out. I'm so excited. It was on PBD's podcast. It was actually
true. That's so true.
And we
idolize kids. And then
demonize.
Once we become adults, we demonize. And once we grow older, we humanize.
I know.
That makes so much sense.
I know. I feel like that was pretty powerful.
Yeah. The way that our parents make these impressions on us, we don't really have any control over that. But once we become an adult, we can change the way that we think if it's not in alignment with how we want to show up as adults.
Absolutely. So I think it's all about just figuring out those habits that you do want to create. So it's okay if you don't get it right away. Give yourself some time. And while researching this episode, I discovered the 2190 rule. It's kind of cool. That states it takes 21 days to make a habit, and it takes 90 days to make it a permanent lifestyle change. And that is good news, right? Because that shows you that it's possible. So 21 days to make a habit, but 90 days to make a lifestyle change. So I'm actually very intent on this right now.
Yeah, you
Aren't
are.
I?
You are.
Oh my gosh, I'm so like, if I can nail this down, this hypothesis that I have right now, then I really think that it will be something that we'd like to share with you. So we'll keep you posted on that. But we have to be constantly aware of the good things in our life, even when our brain wants to focus on the negative.
And this is where the practice part comes in. Gratitude isn't a one-time thing. It's something that we have to actively cultivate. When we practice it regularly, our baseline for contentment is able to rise. And that means that we can bounce back from hardships more easily. And when life does fall apart, we don't fall apart with it.
I like that. So speaking of rewiring our mindset, we've got a little thought exercise for everyone. It's about recognizing our interdependence with others.
Oh yeah. I love this one. Okay. It's a great way to shift your perspective quickly. So take a moment to look around wherever you are. Everything you see, everything you are using, it's all because of the work and care other people put in. Did you build the car that you're driving right now? The road that you're walking on, maybe? The house that you're living in? Did you stitch your clothes? Probably not. We depend on so many other people in our lives, but we rarely stop to appreciate it.
Okay. We live in this huge network of support. You know, our lives really are comforted.
They're interconnected.
Yeah, they're interconnected. But we forget to acknowledge it, you know, and this exercise is a great reminder that we owe a lot to the people around us. It really opens our eyes on how interconnected we all are. And that's a huge part of practicing gratitude.
Exactly. And I think it's important to dive into some myths around gratitude that might be holding us back. Okay, so one of the big ones is that gratitude makes us complacent. Like if we're grateful, we won't be motivated to improve our lives.
Sometimes that can be a feeling that
That like if we're grateful, then I'm not going to want to get better.
Yeah, but I think we could definitely argue that it couldn't be further from the truth. You know, studies show that practicing gratitude helps us reach our goals faster, and it doesn't make us lazy. It drives us to do better because we're more aware of the good things we already have.
Exactly. I've found as I've been practicing gratitude this last week and I've gotten better at it, that I'm getting things done quicker, actually.
Are you?
Yeah, because, and then something that I feel like you've taught me, Meredith, as well, is just being grateful for, like, you just have so much pride, I feel like, in your house and the way things are presented and everything. And she has a place for everything. She calls it their home. And so when something has a home, like your shoes have a home, and it's just like it just makes it feel like you just have that gratitude for that little thing that improves your life.
It romanticizes.
Yeah.
It romanticizes the idea of that thing because it has a place in your home.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's something that's really important to me. Like Cassie will come in after the weekend and I will have like shifted some things around to re-add value to them because like, for example, I printed off this newspaper when we did our brand photo shoot, and I had placed it out on Cassie's desk because I thought maybe we could put it on the wall over there or something, like frame it, because it was something that I put so much time and effort into that I didn't want it to just sit somewhere and collect dust. Like I wanted to appreciate it. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you're really good at that.
Yeah.
And I love
it brings me joy.
It brings me joy too, because I just come into our house and there's candles lit. The ambiance is just set, and she's really good at that. She opens and closes her house. But anyways, let's get on to another topic.
Yeah. I love it.
Just a little tangent there. Okay. Another myth is that gratitude is just a naive form of positive thinking, like it ignores pain or suffering. But I think by practicing gratitude, it doesn't mean that you're denying the hardships in your life. It's about seeing the bigger picture and finding the silver lining even when things are tough.
And the truth is, practicing gratitude isn't always easy. It's something we work at, and especially when life throws us challenges.
Absolutely. And since I have been practicing gratitude more often, I feel like I get upset less often. I'm able to deal with the day-to-day grind with more resilience. I have noticed that when my brain starts to become negative about all of the tasks that I have to do and how tired I am, because at the end of the day, I'm sure that you feel this way too if you're a mom. You just have done so much and you get into kind of like that little self-pity talk, you know? But I've started to shift my thinking a little bit to gratefulness. I think about how grateful I am to have these clothes to wash.
Hold on. I have a confession.
What?
I hate laundry. I have a confession, Cassie. I hate laundry.
But isn't it great that you have the beautiful clothes that you have?
I love my clothes.
Exactly.
But here's what I hate. I hate disorganization. And because my home has this opening and close, I have very I have this organization that it means so much to me. And so like, just for example, like I really have a hard time like this give and take with laundry because I have 5 people to do laundry for. So not everybody thinks the same way as I do, right? But I got this bracelet over the weekend to help remind me to stay okay and grateful for when I have to wash these clothes.
Because it's a buildup of other things too, though.
Laundry does suck.
It does suck. And I think
Like, do you like
gratefulness is not about, it's not about it. We can still give space to those bad feelings and then feel grateful.
Yeah.
So like, I'm not telling you not to feel the suck sometimes. But I guess in that moment, I just reminded myself, and it made me feel better in the moment, being like, wow, I have these clothes to wash and I have these children to pick up after. When we commit to gratitude, we can reshape the way we see the world. It helps us build resilience and appreciate the support of others and turn everyday moments into opportunities for joy.
So, Sunseekers, this week we challenge you to think about the things or people in your life that you might be taking for granted. Try the thought exercise we mentioned and look around and appreciate all the people who have contributed to the things you use every day. It's also a really good grounding technique to help you live more intentionally in the moment.
And don't forget to come back for the next episode in our gratitude series. We'll be talking more about how to integrate gratitude into your daily life and how it impacts your relationships and your own well-being.
Until next time, keep finding your light, Sunseekers.
Thank you.
Just before you go, if you want to sprinkle some love our way without spending a dime, why not hit that subscribe button on our YouTube channel? It's like giving us a hug through the internet. So please give that button a little tap tap and join our Sun family.
Thanks for tuning in to today's episode. We hope you found the discussions enlightening and inspiring. Please note that the information provided in this podcast is for general informational purposes only. All opinions expressed here are solely our own and do not reflect the views of any sponsors or affiliate partners.
And before you apply any of the health strategies discussed on the podcast, we recommend consulting with a professional to ensure it is appropriate for your specific circumstances.
Remember, we're here to spark conversation and ideas, not substitute for any professional advice.